him, and we want him. And since the Constitution vests on us solely the executive powers to control the executive of this country, we are going to keep him in an acting capacity as long as we are in government. There are many ways to skin a cat. If the politics being played on Magu by the Senate, because there is no basis, if the presidency recommends him, and you are relying on the report of another arm of the presidency to say you are rejecting, it is not fair. It is not fair.
But what really is the extent of the powers of the Senate? Can they say that if the acting president does not sack the acting chairman of the EFCC, they won't confirm any other nominees of the presidency for other positions?
No, they cannot. They don't have that power. They cannot say because we rejected Magu and the presidency refused to accept our rejection, we will never, on any other occasion, look at any proposal made to us by the same government for the approval of another person. They have no right to say, not to do it. They don't have a right to even say it out.
But some lawyers have asked them to go to court on those issues.
What is the basis for it? Where in the Constitution does the Senate have the power to say, if we reject and the executive refuses, then we have a right to go to court? There is no right. That any lawyer who is suggesting that without basing that suggestion on the grounds of law must be acting in vacuum.
Let's move on to the issue of restructuring. Restructuring has become one of the most discussed issues in the country today. Do you think that the country needs to be restructured? And if so, what kind of restructuring does the country need?
I have on many occasions, including one of the things I had with Chinese, to suggest a restructuring. But today, that word restructuring has become the front burner in Nigeria. What type of restructuring do we want? Is the country so sick that we have to restructure Nigeria? If we are going to do it, which area of Nigeria is sick that needs restructuring? I am of the belief that Nigeria, as made up today by the different ethnic group, needs no restructuring as to that ethnic surrounding. We have been living with each other for over 100 years. We can continue to live with each other. The only problem in Nigeria today is that the system of governance needs restructuring. And when I talk about system of governance, it's a type of constitution that joins us together as one nation. Can we continue with this type of system we have? The answer is no. I believe, and I will still campaign for it, that Nigeria should be split into 6 geographical zones, where you find part of it consists of Igbos, part of it consists of TV people, part of it consists in one geographical zone. In another one, you have the northwest, the southwest, the middle west, all in one geographical zone. So the question of ethnicity or tribalism or religion, because the 2 greatest enemies Nigeria has today is religion and ethnicity. Those are the 2 that create what we call corruption. Corruption is hanging, but is being fueled by ethnicity and religion. So to eliminate these 2 evils that create corruption, we have these 6 geographical zones, where each zone will have the power to rule under a constitution of its own, devoid of any fear that there's a major tribe in the north central or central determining it. But equity should be the basis of this system, whereby the center or the federal is not so powerful that controls, again, all these 6 geographical zones. They should be able to control themselves, control their resources. However, those 4 principal areas, foreign government, defense, communications, and I don't know the 4th one, it's left solely at the discretion of the federal government. But question of police, question of local government, everything should now devolve on each and let them legislate the way they want to govern themselves. And I believe that is the type of restructuring that will eliminate the fear of religion, will eliminate the fear of ethnic control. And I'm sure if we look at it from that angle, it is better than just shouting restructuring of the ethnic country called Nigeria.
Rather than have another conference, you don't think that the last sovereign national conference, the reports of that would help?
I criticized it so much when it was set up, because you are just building nothing. You are building nothing. You are building something on nothing. Number one, the many people who were thrown into that National Assembly by Jonathan were tired and old people like myself, who had no new ideas to give to the young boys. My good brother Edwin Clarke, Tunji Braithwaite, all of them were packed there, who had been players in the Nigerian politics for the past 50 years and have not contributed anything. We have found ourselves today in Nigeria where we are because of the politics of these old people. Now, let the younger, Nigeria's young population is greater than the old people now. If you do a census, let them talk. Tell us, the old men, this is what we want. Then we sit down and make out in a forensic way the way we want to be governed.
Finally, there's this bill pending before the National Assembly. A member of the House of Reps proposed a bill which seeks to grant amnesty to self-confessed looters, which, if enacted into law, will enable the looters to keep their loot, to give up a substantial part of it, and keep some only if they acknowledge that it would be spent for the betterment of the country. Do you think that we need a bill like that?
Normally, amnesty is the wrong word to use. You know, pardon will have been a good word to use. But it's easier to say, who will come and confess in Nigeria today that he has stolen money when nobody is investigating him? I doubt it. I doubt it very much. If you say those who are being investigated and who are found and who are ready to vomit, then what we need to do is to grant them pardon. Some people say let them first confess, convicted, and then you now come and pardon them. But question of amnesty. Amnesty does not relate to stealing money. You know, it does not arise at all. I agree that the system, the criminal system in recovery of loot could include what they are now proposing, but it's not in the form of amnesty. An amnesty relates to a rebellion or something, but not looting. But let them be found guilty first, and let them be pardoned.